Is the Saints team culture falling apart under Dennis Allen? Ladies and gentlemen, we are watching Hunt Palmer, the Hunt Palmer Show. We're talking about New Orleans Saints. We're talking about this season. We're talking about the idea of Dennis Allen, a rebuild, the future of the Saints. We got it all today. Ladies and gentlemen, this video is presented by my subreddit. So on my Reddit, if you're not familiar, you can go there, post links to videos. It's a good way to make sure that I am talking about what you care about. So if you're not a member of the subreddit, go get involved. Nice little community space to drop links, anything you want to talk about. I check it all the time, and you could even see your video recommendations right here on the tube of you. Let's go ahead and get into the video. So the headline didn't really tell me too much about what we're going to be watching here. So take it away, Hunt. Take it away.
What are you doing?
Just wonderful, Hunt. Just wonderful.
Just wonderful. Did you make it out to rookie minicamp this weekend?
For a little bit, not long. Yeah, for a little bit, hot minute.
What do you think about rookie minicamp? Is that interesting to you?
Not really.
So a rookie minicamp should be interesting to both of these hombres, mostly because it's the first chance for us to see the new philosophy. It's the first chance for us to see how this team is going to operate. We have a bunch of new coaches, specifically on the offensive side of the ball. Andrew Janocko, Clint Kubiak, to see them in action, see what's their style, how do they talk to the players, how do they talk to other coaches, what's their energy levels, what's the style of the practices, not to mention the actual rookies. We have a very interesting rookie class with Spencer Rattler, obviously, to see what he looks like on the field, how he spins the pill. So it should have been one of the most interesting rookie mini camps in a long time.
No. No, man. None of this off-season stuff is really that interesting to me. I mean, I guess like a little bit of like mandatory mini camp in June is pretty cool. Then training camp is cool, but anything before that it's just the underwear Olympics to me.
Do you believe the Saints are approaching things a little bit differently this offseason? I've made the point that like most of these guys are on one-year free agent deals that are not hamstringing the future. They selected almost all their draft picks, didn't mortgage any of the future. Like it feels like they're taking a little bit of a step back. Do you sense that?
What the hell are you talking about? A step back? How? What? I don't understand this. I was just having a conversation. I think it was on Twitter. I was just having a conversation where it's like, how could you possibly look at the Saints and what they've done, the acquisitions they've made, both with the roster and the coaching staff? You look at all of that, how can you possibly look at that and say the team has gotten worse or we've taken a step backwards? In every single facet, the team has gotten better. Every single one. Our biggest weaknesses: Pete Carmichael, the offensive coaching staff, full turnover, complete overhaul. Pass rush, went and got Chase Young. Offensive line, drafted Tulise Fuaga. What's the problem? How is it worse? How is it a step backwards? I'm not seeing it.
I do. I think they're taking a step back for the future. I like it, not, mortgage in the future, not creating cap hell for the future, being able to like kind of reset the team and doing it in a slow process while not at the same time destroying, the present team. So yeah, I'll give Mickey Loomis and the front office credit for doing that. I mean, that's, the step that they needed to take. He admitted it.
I could understand, what the hell does it take a step backward for the future mean? You moonwalking like Michael Jackson? I can understand if we would have, traded Marshon Lattimore, traded Alvin Kamara, didn't, let Michael Thomas walk, traded Cam Jordan, traded Demario Davis. I could understand if we did stuff like that. You'd say, okay, we're kind of selling the right now for the future. We're getting some capital. We're trimming some salary cap. I can understand that. We haven't done any of that. We're chilling. All of our main players still here. All of our impact guys still here. Core players still here. Even the one guy that we did decide to move off of Michael Thomas, has done very little in the last couple of seasons, unless you're the Kenner Police. But besides then, has done very little. No hate. I like Michael Thomas. I like what he did for the Saints. But as far as like impact, you're not losing a ton of impact. So I don't understand where this like mindset is. I don't understand the mindset of that the Saints have done all of this stuff to save the future but mortgage the present. To me, we're trying to make the present better. We have made the present better.
That's what they needed to do. They need to have like somewhat of a soft reset to get this team back into business.
All right, let's play a game here then. I'm going to name a Saints player. You tell me if he is on the team the next time the Saints win a playoff game.
Okay. Okay, so we understand the rules of the game. Now, do I think that we've already talked about the schedule? I think the Saints will win somewhere between 7 and 9 games. 10 is the ceiling. 10 would be really, really impressive. 10 is probably what you need to do to get to the playoffs. Do I think the Saints will make the playoffs this year? I would lean towards no if my predictions and all that hold up. So that's just make the playoffs. Then you're talking about make the playoffs and win a playoff game. So that's the game here. He's going to name a player, and I'm going to give you an answer.
Ryan Ramczyk.
Right.
No.
No.
Cam Jordan.
No.
Yes.
Marshon Lattimore.
Yes.
No.
Alvin Kamara.
Well, hold on a second. Lattimore. Here's the problem with Lattimore is that we covered this in a video too. I don't know if Lattimore. The Saints are going to have to get really, really creative with his contract. If they can keep kicking the can down the road and keep restructuring and keep moving it, then I think they will as long as they can. I think we'll win a playoff game. I would say, in my head, I'm thinking like 2 years. I'm thinking like this season, next season, some like after those. Like that's my kind of time frame. I don't think we're in like a reset of like 5-6 years. So I think within the next 2 seasons is when we could be winning a playoff game. If I don't think we're going to make the playoffs this year, then players like Cam Jordan, Ryan Ramczyk, who I expect to retire after the season, Cam Jordan, possibly similar, or but if we can kick Marshon's contract down the road for 3-ish years, then yeah, he'll be on the roster. But if they decide that it's not possible, Saints are super creative with the contract. So it all depends on how that like contract math and all the loopholes that they do and all that stuff. That's a delicate situation. You said Alvin Kamara? Yes.
Yes.
Derek Carr.
Yes.
I'll say yes.
Okay. And then I'll go with, let's say, Demario Davis.
He should have asked Dennis Allen. Demario Davis, I'll say yes.
Yes.
So you're suggesting the Saints should win a playoff game in the next 2 years?
Yes. Well. Am I on a different level or am I on a different level? Yes, I am saying that.
Yes. And I'm saying Marshon Lattimore no because I think they trade him maybe after June 1st or even after this upcoming season. And as far as Ramczyk, I don't even think he'll play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
agreed.
I guess
I agree with all that.
Is there a kind of a fracture between the Saints and Marshon Lattimore at this point?
No. I think Marshon Lattimore is, it's a contract situation. It's, very unique. Saints do this all the time. They do it with different players. I don't think there's a problem. I think Marshon wants to win. I think Marshon is a bit of a recluse. He's a bit of a hermit. I think he is a bit of a prickly pear, but I don't think there's a problem with the Saints and Marshon.
I'd say yes, even though publicly they're saying no, and he's on a team and they want him there. But, man, look, none of us are.
Y'all hear this? Y'all hear the sirens? Guys, I'm on the face of the franchise. I'm trying to make videos for the people. I'm pulling videos off the subreddit. Can y'all just quit for 20 minutes? Let me make this video. Thank you. Jesus, man.
None of us are stupid, man. We know what's going on. He and Dennis just don't see eye to eye. But Dennis and Marshon just not there. It's not working out. It may work out for this season. It may work out into training camp, and he might get traded just like C.J. Gardner-Johnson got traded during training camp.
I'm curious because we saw Derek Carr kind of back and forth with the offensive line last year, and Obviously, the situation with Michael Thomas and now Dennis Allen and Marshon Lattimore maybe don't see eye to eye. Are there issues there?
Winning cures everything. The Saints were in a perfect storm last year of where you have some holdover players who all they know is winning. You have holdover players who all they know is Sean Payton, Drew Brees, and all that. You get a new coach come in, Dennis Allen. Dennis Allen is a prickly pear himself. You're losing. You're not making the playoffs. You're not winning the division. You're not doing any of that. The fans aren't happy. The players aren't happy. There's infighting. That happens. Pete Carmichael's there. Pete Carmichael is a circus clown. A lot of problems, right? Then you bring in Derek Carr, high-paid quarterback. Derek Carr is a polarizing figure. We all know just his personality and all that stuff. While losing, while getting booed in your own stadium against the Detroit Lions, all of that is going to bubble up problems. We covered it all last year. A lot of the leaders, Alvin Kamara, Demario Davis, Cam Jordan, were very outspoken with, hey, we aren't doing things the right way. This isn't the New Orleans Saints football. We've got to get back to what makes us the Saints. That's totally normal. It is what it is. When you're losing, when you're going through struggles, the Saints have been going through struggles for the last couple of years. That happens. And I'm glad it happens because that helps weed out problematic players. That helps weed out people who do not embrace the culture, whatever the culture is. Good. And the Saints are starting a new culture. Dennis Allen is not a culture builder. Dennis Allen is not a head coach. We all understand that. So Dennis Allen needs coordinators or people around him who can help build that culture. I truly believe, and maybe Sharif should have paid more attention at rookie minicamp, but I truly believe that the offensive coaches that were brought in, all the new coaches that were brought in, they're going to establish the new Saints culture moving forward. And even the rookies, Spencer Rattler and some of these guys coming in, Talise Fuaga, what do we hear about him all during the draft coverage? He was tough as nails. He was a monster on the field. He's in your face. He's this. That is what helps to build a new culture. You go get players who you want to. What does Clint Kubiak say? We want to be strong, tough, resilient. He keeps using those words. He keeps talking about intangibles. You get enough Talise Fuagas. You get enough Spencer Rattlers. You get enough of those young guys. Pair them with young, energetic coaches who are help building a culture like Clint Kubiak and Andrew Chinoka. You get all that. Pair that with veterans who have seen the top of the mountain, the Alvin Kamaras, the Marshon Lattimores, the Cam Jordans, the Demario Davises. That's how you build a culture. All right? We had a messy breakup with Sean Payton and that whole culture. We were in that world for the better part of 2 decades, okay, since 2005. We split. After the split, the front office tried to keep that culture there. And that's not me guessing. Mickey Loomis said multiple times over the last couple of years, he wants to keep things in-house. He wants to keep that culture safe. That's why we saw the Ronald Currys and the Pete Carmichaels try and prop it up. You can't do it. You can't pretend Sean Payton is still in the building. You can't pretend Drew Brees is still in the building. So I'm sure that fake, half in, half out Sean Payton, Drew Brees culture without Sean Payton and Drew Brees probably rubbed a lot of the guys the wrong way. I would guess at rookie minicamp and training camp and mandatories and all of that in preseason, we're going to see a really energized Saints team because I think they're going to finally feel some realness. This is the new culture. Oh, this is the new New Orleans Saints. We're not dressing up and pretending like we're the 2011 New Orleans Saints. We are our own version of the New Orleans Saints. This is a new chapter in the New Orleans Saints story.
I mean, I think there's just some issues because you go from Sean Payton, who was, cool with his players, and, he's a guy who's like in the spotlight, kind of like the players he had on the team when they were there together. It was just like he vibed with them. Dennis isn't like a vibe type of guy. He's one of those guys who just coaches and just stays out the public eye. He doesn't want any of that. And I think he's just a football coach. And I think that, Sean was able to put up with it and able to, wrangle it in and, keep them on track. If anything bad happened, he was able to discipline them and keep their respect. I just think some of the players honestly just don't respect Dennis at times, and
Yeah, you know why Sean Payton got respect? Because Sean Payton's one of the greatest coaches to ever live. You know why Sean Payton got respect? Because he has a Super Bowl trophy. Because he won 10 to 12 games a lot. Dennis Allen is 30 games under 500. So winning again, Sean Payton is a prickly pear. All right, he was not a Sean Payton is not winning class favorite. I'll tell you that. But Sean Payton won. It is what it is. Bill Parcells, Bill Belichick, none of those guys are class favorites. They won. They put up with it. Bill Belichick loses. 32 NFL teams passed him up. Telling you, winning cures everything.
I just think he's had enough of it. He doesn't want any of those players in his locker room.
So how are you feeling as we sit here in May about the 2024 Saints?
Very happy.
It's
fired up, energized. Can't wait for the season. I'm so excited. I can't even stand it. I can't sleep at night. I'm so ready for the NFL season. I cannot wait. It's the happiest time of the year. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. It's positive vibes all the time. Realistic yet positive. I'm not sitting here saying we're going to win 12 games. I'm saying we're going to win 7, 8, or 9 games. I'm excited for the future. I'm excited for Spencer Rattler. I'm excited for Tulisa Fuaga. I'm excited for Clint Kubiak. I'm not married to results. I'm not sitting here saying that just because we win 7 or 8 games, it's a dumpster fire. It's okay sometimes to be in that rebuilding / average middle of the pack to jump to that next level. There were plenty of times where we won 7 games when Sean Payton and Drew Brees was here, and nobody was burning down the buildings. Nobody was saying they should be fired. So we got to give this team the same amount of grace.
It's crazy to think that they're tied with the Falcons with the easiest schedule in the NFL. But
that's not true. The Falcons have the much easier schedule in the NFL. The Saints have the 4th easiest schedule in the NFL. Do not use the previous season's win percentage. You have to use different factors. Don't fall into that trap. The Warren Sharp on Twitter has a post of the easiest schedule, and it's not even close. The Falcons are way, way, way higher up than the Saints.
You look at the teams they're playing. It's going to be tough, huh? I mean, I can see why Vegas has 7.5.
Yeah.
I feel like Vegas does 7.5, 7 wins. Right now, if you ask me, I'd have them at 7 and 10, 8, 9 at best. That's what I feel.
Well, not at best. I mean, at best, probably 10 and 7. At the floor, I'd say 7 wins. Ceiling, 10 wins. Somewhere in there. We're lined up.
Anything you're looking at tomorrow with the schedule review?
To me, it's always the primetime games because we have the Monday night games on WDSU, so we're always like, all right, how many primetime games they're going to get? We also have the Thursday night games on WDSU. Of course, the Sunday night games. We're like, are they finally going to get a Sunday night game? They haven't been on Sunday Night Football since they played the Buccaneers in Tampa in the 2021 season. The game they won 9-0 when Sean Payton had COVID and Dennis had the coach. I'm really looking to see if NBC is going to say, all right, we'll throw you out there, and which primetime games are going to be, on this. Is the return of Sean Payton one? It makes obvious sense, but we also thought the same thing with Joe Burrow a couple years ago, and that wasn't a primetime game. So it's always weird to try to guess which prime.
It is. So we obviously this is before the schedule. We have 3 primetime games: Chiefs, Broncos, and Packers. Broncos Thursday night.
Primetime games are going to happen because they'll throw like a curveball, and you'll get an AFC team in here, and you're like, oh, all right, that kind of doesn't make sense. I guess in a way you could say the Raiders because of Derek Carr. Washington Commanders with Jaden returns, the Sean Payton game, Dallas Cowboys in Dallas, Kansas City game maybe, but Kansas City has much better opponents than the Saints that can play in prime time. But yeah, it's always prime time for me.
What's more interesting to you, a guy who covers the Saints and went to LSU? Is it Sean Payton returning to New Orleans, or is it Jaden Daniels playing the Saints?
Not close. It's not close. It's Sean Payton because of what he did for this franchise.
Yeah, that game's going to be insane. Thursday night football in the Dome. Thursday night games are insane anyways. Night games are crazy in the Dome. If you've never gone, I mean, the Dome's always fun. Dome's always crazy, but a night game, especially Sean Payton returning, man, I cannot wait. That one's circled. That one is definitely circled on my calendar.
Franchise after Hurricane Katrina, rebuilding this franchise, giving them hope and winning the Super Bowl, starting from that, first home game, the Dome coming. I mean, come on. I mean, it's just way more. It's sexier. I mean, I love Jaden Daniels. I love LSU, but what Sean Payton did for the city of New Orleans and for this franchise is it will never be forgotten. So yeah, that's much a bigger topic.
How will he be received when he's announced on the public address?
I kind of went back and forth on this. I think the consensus is that, from what I'm hearing, is he'll be cheered. I wouldn't be so sure. I wouldn't be surprised if the Saints fans gave him a little bit of stick. But final answer, I think he will be celebrated. I think he'll be cheered. I think the Saints, at the beginning at least. It also depends on how he's brought out. Like, if there's just no pomp and circumstance, he might get booed. But if they do like a video package pregame or something like that, then I think he'll be celebrated. I mean, Sean Payton changed the trajectory of this team. Sean Payton and Drew Brees both. So I don't care what happens. You do have to kind of tip of the cap to him. So I think it'll be. I think the fans will strongly want to beat him, but I think at the beginning they'll give him his flowers.
Well, he'll get a lot of cheers. He's not getting booed.
Yeah.
I understand people frustrated that he retired.
They will. It's a little bit of both. Like, he's going to get cheered at the beginning, but then the Broncos will get booed. Like, we are going to want to beat him. So he'll hear it throughout the game. At the beginning of the game, it'll be a tip of the cap handshake, but then as the game goes on, it'll be more and more like trying to beat you, trying to rub it in.
Tired on a team, quit on a team, but I think that, like, now that they see how things have gone since he left, I think he's going to get a lot of cheers. People are mad at him for leaving because they knew that, like, he left behind, what could have been a good thing and left for an unknown.
It'll be interesting for sure. I'm excited to see what the schedule holds tomorrow when it is announced with the rest of the NFL. Hey, it's on. Thanks for watching.
There you go. So, I mean, I just think there's such a divide. There's such a divide between Saints fans and, I don't know. I mean, I don't understand where the negativity. I guess I do understand where the negativities come from. I think fans and media are way too tied to results. They just don't see what's the adage? They don't see the forest through the trees, or they don't see the trees through the forest. One of the two. They don't see the forest through the trees. Like, the Saints can win 8 games this year, but if the philosophy is different and Kubiak is different and the offense looks good, and that can be a step forward. Just like last year. I mean, last year there was a lot that went wrong for the Saints. The Carr was hurt a couple games. We blew the Green Bay game, and we finished 9-8, and we're 1 game out of winning the division and winning 10 games. And if he doesn't get hurt in Green Bay, the Saints are a 10-win division champion team. And people are ready to tear the franchise down. People are ready to. I've heard people. I have people in the comments, like, within the last week, and have told me that the Saints, like, last season was one of the worst Saints seasons they've ever seen. And it's like, my man, if you think 9-8 and a Derek Carr shoulder injury away from a division championship is the worst it can get, like, I mean, I got to take you back a little bit to pre-Sean Payton. It just really shows you. It shows you how much the culture has changed because of Peyton and Brees, to where it's been, 3 years since we've had success? Because the last Drew Brees year, we won like 12 games. So it's been like 3 years since we've had success. Mickey in the front office has accepted, like, yep, it's been way too long. They overhauled the offensive coaches. We got way younger with the coaches. We have legitimate coaches from legitimate organizations like the 49ers, and I'm excited about, and that's what's crazy, is that I can be so excited for the season and so excited for the future of the Saints, but I understand that doesn't equate to 12 wins. I'm excited for this new vision, the new era. Finally we got rid of, like, all that baggage. I just feel like there was so much baggage from Peyton and Brees holding us down that, like, we needed to get rid of it. We needed to get rid of that to start this new chapter, to start this new, the new era of the Saints. That doesn't immediately mean 12 wins. That doesn't immediately mean 13 wins, division championship, NFC title, Super Bowl. Like, it doesn't mean all that. We just got to start moving forward, taking steps forward, developing our players, developing our ideology, developing our culture. And then, then we'll take that, when everything clicks, like, boom, okay, then now we're a 10-win team or an 11-win team. And then we can kind of go on that track of 10-plus wins every year and competing for the NFC and all that stuff. So it's not like, my advice would be, don't be so married to the win-loss. Like sometimes game, you drop a couple games, you win some games, you shouldn't. Like, stuff happens. Be married to the culture and the philosophy and the vision. Be married to that. Don't be married to 9-8 is reason to lose sleep at night. I'm excited for Rattler. I'm excited for that era. And because I'm excited for Rattler doesn't mean I'm ready for Carr to go. Best case scenario, Carr is good this year, good next year. Rattler plays the year after that, and we're rocking and rolling. So it's not as bad as people think. I don't think it's as negative as people think. I'm not unrealistic. I'm not sitting here saying 12 win. We should be a 12-win team, where we should be a 13-win team. You gotta be able to kind of. It's much more gray. It's much more in the middle there. You gotta see everything. I'm hearing way too many polarized fans. Way too many fans are like fixated on Carr or fixated on Allen. A lot of people are like, you won't win with Dennis Allen. It's like, maybe not. Like, maybe Dennis won't. Maybe we won't be a 10, 11, 12-win team with Dennis Allen. But if he's here and we have a good defense and Clint Kubiak kind of gets this stuff figured out, and then we end up moving off of Allen and promoting Kubiak or bringing in somebody else, and then we win, like, who cares? Same with Carr, where it's like, people are just like constantly like, Carr sucks, Carr's garbage. I mean, I'm not saying Carr has to be the MVP. Carr just has to be average, good to average, above average at times, and we can win. So I'm excited for the season. I'm excited for the future of the Saints. I think you should be too. Let me know in the comments below what you think. And ladies and gentlemen, go check out the Reddit. Put videos in there, drop links in there, stuff you want me to react to, just thoughts, talk amongst each other. We're building a beautiful community here, and it's a good place for that community to thrive. So go check it out again. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.